3, 2, 1. Hello, my dear sweet little chickadees. It is Cole, the resident astrologer of Smudge Wellness, and today I am bringing to you your December horoscope for the year of 2021. And there are so many exciting things that are happening, and I finally feel as though we are going to all just get out of that funk that we've all been existing in over the past couple of months. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. Now for context, the theme of December is celebration. And when I was looking at the astrology for December, I was like, you know what? It adds up. It adds up that we're gonna be feeling a little bit of a party. We're gonna be feeling a little bit more active, a little bit more engaged, a little bit more excited. I think that the end of this year is really going to be that nice push that we all need to get into 2022, to feel just alive and feel as though, you know what? The past is the past and the future is something that is right in front of us that we can just snatch and just eat up, right? It's gonna be really exciting. So just remember, when we're thinking about all of these transits and all of these, we wanna look at it through the lens of celebrating and celebration and just being excited about life. The first celebratory little moment is that Neptune, the planet of imaginations, dreams, suspicion, all of that things, is finally going direct. We've been experiencing this for a couple months now, the Neptune retrograde. And with Neptune direct, we're gonna start feeling a little bit more clarity in our life, right? Everything probably felt a little bit hazy, a little bit cloudy, a little bit like, what the fuck is going on? Whereas now, with Neptune direct, it's a little bit more of that imaginative spirit, right? A little bit more free-flowiness and that little bit of that essence of, oh yeah, now I can understand why all of that confusing stuff was going on, so we can have a clear and more straightforward path. On December 4th, we are going to be experiencing a solar eclipse and a new moon in Sagittarius. They're literally hand in hand with each other. But what I'm so excited about this is that it really is going to give us that opportunity to look at, the next year ahead, right? The next couple months ahead with that really Sagittarian optimism, right? New moons are all about new beginnings. Eclipse seasons are all about that magnified energy. So this new moon in particular is that magnification of a new beginning, a new opportunity, and a new vitality of life that we're just going to be breathing into our entire ecosystems around us. So I'm very, very excited about this new moon. Make sure that you don't do any manifestation just yet, because manifesting during eclipse season can get a little bit hazy. And the reason for that is because of the obstruction of the moon and the sun. But that doesn't mean that it's not a great time and that there aren't good things around the corner. On December 13th, we have two little instances going on. We've got Mars moving into Sagittarius and Mercury moving into Capricorn. Mars in Sagittarius, Mars being the action, aggression, passions, desires planet in Sagittarius, that free-spirited energy. Are we going after things that are gonna make us feel excited, make us feel dynamic, and make us push to be more wise and to learn more? Mercury in Capricorn, are we being a little bit more diligent, a little bit more thoughtful, and a little bit more straightforward about our communication and the way we're looking at things? This in tandem, I think it's great because it's going to push us to be a little bit more exciting, be a little bit more adventurous, but also have a little bit of refined taste with that, right? We're going to expand our horizons, but not jump into anything that'll be a little bit catastrophic or chaotic. On December 18th, we are going to be experiencing the full moon in Gemini. The way that I'm looking at this full moon in particular, because we know full moons are all about closure, is that this is just closing that chapter on all things eclipse season that we've experienced at the end of this year. So really focusing on all of the realizations that came up over the past couple of weeks and saying, you know what, I'm good with that, closure, no need to worry about it anymore. On December 19th, there are going to be two little transits going on, the first of which is Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde is going to be a time of reflecting on our relationships, right? Thinking about what we go after in relationships, right? How do we value relationships? How do we define intimacy and security in relationships and all of those things? It doesn't mean that you can't get into a relationship, right? You can't go out and date, but just really reflecting on how you exert energy in that area of life. And then we're also going to be experiencing Chiron going direct, Chiron, the wound healing asteroid. So now we're really going to be able to start feeling that healing energy after going through all of that detoxing and all of the release of that bad energy, bad juju over the past couple of months. So now that we've sort of let go of everything, we can sort of see that active healing process start now. On the 21st, it's gonna be Capricorn season. Capricorns, it's your time to shine. Right? So feeling that little bit of a boost of energy, that excitement. Well, I don't know if I would call Capricorns exciting, but at the end of the day, Capricorn season is right around the corner. So feeling that extra sense of diligence, right? That extra sense of routine, that extra sense of maturity through all of us is something that we can look forward to. On the 28th, Jupiter is gonna move into Pisces. Ugh, I'm so excited about this transit, y'all, because Jupiter being the planet of good luck, opportunity, prosperity, Pisces being that dreamlike little essence of just opportunity and free flowiness, and Pisces being the last sign of the zodiac before we start a new astrological calendar. I think this is really the transit that we all need to sort of say, okay, the end of this bad period, right, is here. So now we can sort of look at it from a more reflective of what did I learn lens to prepare ourselves from when like Jupiter moves into Aries, right, which is going to be really exciting and really opportunistic and like a really new chapter. So I'm super, super excited about Jupiter and Pisces, and it's coming at the end of this month. Now that we have looked at all of the transits, let's dive into a sign by sign little horoscope to let you know what to look out for specifically based on your sign for this month. And make sure, don't just look at your sun sign, look at your rising sign as well. Aries, there's this nice little bit of energy going on in your 10th house right now, house of career, in the sign of Capricorn. So thinking about career initiatives, right? What's the next step? What do you want to do? Don't make any super like active movements just yet, but just start reflecting on if you're in the right place and where you want to be career-wise, or if you need to start shaking things up. Tauruses, the solar eclipse is going to be happening in your 8th house, the house of transformation, house of the death of the ego. Solar eclipse, it's all about hello, new opportunities, new beginnings, right? Are you going to allow yourself to transform? Are you allowing yourself to really, really take in all of the great things that happen from eclipse season that are pushing you to change? I know that's a hard thing for Tauruses, but it's something that you need to reflect on, and it's something that I think is going to be a big tone for your December. Geminis, when looking at your chart, we want to look at the full moon happening in the 1st house and the new moon solar eclipse happening in the 7th house. So thinking about that dichotomy between the self and relationships, right? How do you fit into the greater picture? How do you fit into your relationships? Are you being individual? Are you being led by others? Things of that nature. So think about the balance between who you are and who you engage with. Cancers, we want to think about the Venus retrograde that's going to be happening in your 7th house, really redefining, right, and re-examining all of your relationships, right? Everything that comes to partnerships with other people, not just the intimate ones, but also the platonic ones. So keep an eye out for that this December. Leos, Mars is moving into Sagittarius, into your 5th house of romance. I'm going to say it, it is cuffing season. Mars is all about action, aggression, passions, desires. Are you going after your romantic passions? 5th house is the house of romance. So just think about it, right? If you're thinking about love, right, and thinking about intimacy, thinking about being with someone, go for it, Leos. I am giving you the green light. Virgos, you have a little bit of 5th house energy as well, but it's the Venus retrograde in the 5th house. So I want you to think less about the partnerships with people, right, and your definition of romance, right? How do you define, romance, courting other people? How do you find the creative expression through romance and all of those great things? 5th house isn't just about, that physical intimacy with other people. It really is about the entire spectrum and the entire scope of that creative expression, right? And that creative release and that more sort of physical, carnal side of identity. So think about that and start reflecting on that during the Venus retrograde, Virgos. Scorpios, there's a whole lot of shit going on in your 2nd house, house of material goods, finances, right? Everything that we place values on. So really thinking about, as we prepare to enter the new year, if you're doing everything that you can to take advantage, right, of everything that you want, right, everything that you want to physically own. So that's going to be a big tone for December, just sort of like that prepping, planning period, so we can really hit the ball running in January. Sagittarius, there's just a whole lot of energy going on in your sign right now. So I really want you to embrace that push, right? Really embrace that sort of sense of adventure, that sense of desire, that sense of exploration that comes with a lot of Sagittarian energy. It's very, very exciting. It's very, very dynamic. And it is going to help you guys really, really get to that next level that I think Sagittariuses have been waiting for. Accidentally went out of order. I'm so sorry, Libras. But the solar eclipse is going to be happening in your 3rd house, right? 3rd house is the house of communication, intellect, right? How we, share our thoughts and knowledge. The solar eclipse is all about new beginnings, right? This sort of reinvention of how you communicate yourself, right? This reinvention of how you allow yourself to be perceived by others is something that I think you can really push towards, right? And really allow yourself to take advantage of during this time, right? During December. Capricorns, Venus retrograde in the first house, right? How do you love yourself? How do you give yourself enough time to be secure? How do you give yourself enough opportunity to really embrace all of the beauty and creativity that you have to offer? Capricorns, you are very, very hard on yourself sometimes. So really take this as an opportunity, this Venus retrograde, as an opportunity to embrace all of the amazing things that you have to offer. Aquariuses, the full moon is going to be happening in your 5th house, house of creativity, expression, romance, all of those lovely things. So letting go, right? What is holding you back? I think Aquariuses, y'all have just been beat to death over the past 2 years. And I think this December really gives you that opportunity to sort of say, I'm done. I'm done with that, right? I'm not gonna let that hurt me or harm me or stop me from being my own creative, expressive self. And Pisces, last but certainly not least, the Neptune direct, I think in particular, is going to set you up for success for Jupiter moving into your sign, because the Neptune direct allows us to not be so cloudy or hazy or confused, and it allows us to sort of embrace creativity, embrace imagination, and embrace that sort of dreamlike state that Pisces love. And with Jupiter moving into Pisces at the end of this month and into next year, it really is going to be an opportunity for all of y'all to embrace that sort of free-spiritedness, right? And that sense of growth and expansion that all of y'all deserve. And with all of that being said, my dear sweet chickadees, there's a lot of great energy going on. There's a lot of opportunities for us to sort of strip away the past and say, I'm done. I don't want to deal with that anymore. I'm stronger than I was yesterday, right? That's a Britney lyric, I think, something like that. But at the end of the day, I'm sending you all so much love. I hope that you have the most wonderful holidays, and I hope that you really, really embrace the great astrological energy that is starting to build up, right, over this month, because 2022 is just going to be an absolute party. Sending you all so much love.